Superstar players who will miss the Qatar FIFA World Cup 2022. When it comes to football tournaments, nothing beats the FIFA World Cup. Everyone in the sport has a goal of making it to the World Cup every 4 years. The ability to perform well as an individual is rarely enough to earn a spot in an elite competition. Rather, a strong team is required. Superstar players who will be absent from the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar are the topic of today's video. So before you watch it, make sure you're a member of B Sports and subscribe. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get started. Some of the greatest footballers of all time, such as Alfredo Di Stefano, George Best, George Weah, Eric Cantona, Laszlo Kubala, and Duncan Edwards, never participated in the World Cup. Some of the best never got to shine on football's biggest stage because their country didn't qualify or because of injuries or bad luck. Even the 2022 World Cup in Qatar won't be immune to the absence of some of the world's most recognizable players. So let's take a look at the top 10 players who won't be attending this year's Winter World Cup. Number 1. Erling Haaland, Norway. He has been on fire for Manchester City, scoring 20 goals in 12 games in the English Premier League and Champions League. Norway did not qualify for Qatar 2022, so Haaland will not be able to play there despite scoring 5 goals in 6 games during the qualifying round. Despite his stellar form, Haaland's been a fan favorite in the first round of Fantasy Premier League selections. Since his presence on the field is always guarantees a good time, there's even a petition circulating online to let each team have 30 minutes with him at some point during the tournament. Although it's highly unlikely, think of how European defenses will feel when they return from Qatar and find themselves up against a rejuvenating Erling Haaland. He's not a robot, but he's as reliable as one, and there's still so much potential in a man of just 22. Number 2. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Sweden. You can almost hear the great one saying, Zlatan doesn't need the World Cup. The World Cup needs Zlatan. But alas, the world will not get to see his on-field skills or hear his slogans from it during the 2022 tournament. We were denied a third World Cup appearance by the great Swede because Sweden lost in a playoff to Poland, led by Robert Lewandowski. Zlatan, now age 41, isn't giving up on his career despite injury concerns keeping him off the field until at least January 2023. To paraphrase, what about the future? I hope to keep going as long as I'm healthy and can contribute, he said after March's loss to Poland. Earlier this year, in September, when asked by Italy's Gazzetta dello Sport to specify a retirement date, the legendary striker reportedly responded, "I'll retire when I see a player stronger than me." The epitome of Zlatan's style. Number 3. Paulo Dybala. However, Argentine star Paulo Dybala might not make it to the World Cup after sustaining an odd injury while attempting a penalty for Club Roma. On Sunday, October 9th, he took the penalty that would have given Roma a 2-1 lead over Lecce, but he immediately drew back in pain. He wept openly on the bench after being substituted, and his coach, Jose Mourinho, wasn't optimistic. "My thoughts are even worse than what I'm saying," Mourinho said. "I'm not a doctor, but my experience in speaking to Paulo, it's unlikely we'll see him this year." According to Football Italia's translation of what he said to DAZN, and according to reports in the Italian press, Dybala will be sidelined for 4 to 8 weeks after further testing confirmed the initial estimate. Dybala will likely need a miracle to play in the World Cup, which kicks off November 20th. The fourth and most pressing question is whether or not Mo Salah will participate in Qatar 2022. Unfortunately for Mo Salah's legion of Egyptian and Liverpool supporters, his country was eliminated from Qatar in a playoff against Senegal on penalties. Even worse for Salah's legion of devoted followers, his ex-Liverpool teammate Sadio Mane scored in the shootout to send Senegal to Qatar while Mo missed his penalty. But it wasn't without controversy. Witnesses say lasers were pointed at the Egyptian illusionist as he attempted his spot kick. In the end, Senegal qualified for the World Cup, and Salah stays at home. Attacking football will be sorely missed. Number 5. Luis Diaz, Colombia. Because of Colombia's lackluster qualifying performance, we won't get to see any superstars on the level of Radamel Falcao, James Rodriguez, Juan Cuadrado, or the promising Luis Diaz. Since joining Liverpool from Porto, Diaz has excelled, but he'll be unable to showcase his considerable talents in Qatar. With too many draws and fewer goals, 20 to Brazil's 40, in a tough CONMEBOL qualifying group, Colombia was eliminated from tournament contention. Los Cafeteros came in 6th place overall, behind winners Peru, Argentina, Uruguay, and Ecuador. To win the next one in 4 years, when it will be held closer to home in Canada, Mexico, and the United States, Colombian fans will be looking to Diaz, who's still young at 25. Number 6. Virgil Osimhen, Nigeria. After scoring 4 goals for Nigeria in AFCON qualifying in the group stage, the future looked bright for the up-and-coming Napoli striker. However, things came apart in the third round when the Super Eagles failed to score in Kumasi and then tied with Ghana at home 1-1, with Ghana advancing to the next round thanks to their away goals. Osimhen was deeply affected by the setback and later apologized to the fans, saying, "We need to first say sorry to Nigerians. Though we retain the support of many, our immediate priority must be to win back our former backers to the point where we have 100% support. Thanks to our new coach, Pissarro, and the rest of the technical staff, we have gotten back on track and are making great strides. Everyone's depressed, no one's happy, and the suffering continues to this day. He's only 23, so he'll have another chance soon enough." Number 7, Martin Odegaard, Norway. If you let Martin Odegaard, he'll dissect you. When he was 16, Norwegian wunderkid Helge Odegaard was signed by Real Madrid. However, with Toni Kroos and Luka Modric dominating the midfield, Odegaard was unable to make an impact there and has since found a new home with Arsenal in North London. His 3 goals and 1 assist in 8 games don't tell the whole story of what he does for the team, but he's a big reason why Arsenal is at the top of the Premier League as of the time of our video. It's a shame we won't get to see Odegaard in Qatar because he has a first touch like Zidane and the vision of Pirlo. The fact that he and Haaland have both flourished at the age of 23 is a source of great optimism for Norwegian football followers. Number 8, Eldor Shomurodov, Uzbekistan. Shomo, as they call him, is a quality player who would definitely add something to the World Cup stage, and the Central Asian region doesn't usually get a lot of attention in the soccer sphere. The 27-year-old's the team captain for the Uzbeki White Wolves and has scored an impressive 32 goals in 59 games for his national team. He's currently plying his trade under Jose Mourinho at AS Roma. Although they've come close before, Uzbekistan's never made it past the group stage at the AFC Championships, and this time they finished second to Saudi Arabia. Number 9, Riyad Mahrez, Algeria. Neither did Algerian wizard Riyad Mahrez, a 31-year-old winger who has shown in the Premier League for Leicester City and most recently for Manchester City. Algeria relied heavily on him as well, and they ended up finishing first in Group A of the CAF playoffs behind only Burkina Faso. The North Africans thought they had it made after a 1-0 win in Cameroon, but they were blown out 2-1 in Blida and ultimately didn't make it to the World Cup due to the away goals rule. Fans of the beautiful game all over the Middle East will be sad to see Algeria's captain possibly lose his final chance at World Cup glory. Number 10, Gianluigi Donnarumma, Italy. Last but not least, Italian goalkeeper Donnarumma may have been the hero at Wembley when he saved the penalty that propelled Italy to the Euro 2020 continental title, but he couldn't keep them from missing out on the World Cup qualification. Despite having stars like him and his PSG teammate Marco Verratti, Italy finished second in their UEFA qualifying group behind Switzerland and was shocked by North Macedonia in the semi-finals of the playoffs. Even though Paolo Maldini's young Italian team looked polished in this tournament, we won't get to see Donnarumma, Verratti, and the rest of the team at the World Cup until they're 23, so here's hoping they'll be back for the next one. As the 2022 FIFA World Cup approaches, who do you think will be the best player? Leave your thoughts in the space provided below, and until next time, keep an eye out on our YouTube channel for more incredible videos just like this one.